best right. I'll be
welcome everybody and thank you for coming. You'll see a few cameras about tonight pushing us in the faces. We are being live streamed on all forms of social media channels. Before we start though, I do want to thank James Harrison for actually getting us in here at lastminute.com. I was going to hold it at Fenland Hall, but they weren't too keen on having tractors in their car parks, and which I can understand why. So who are we and how did we start? So Pro Farmers United is a new group that started because I was elected district councillor, and luckily our leader decided that we was going to have a farming committee, which in turn leads me into the hands of this guy, which I can introduce in a few minutes, and luckily we work well together. So through the motions that I've put through council, it sort of sent alarm bells ringing, because we list on the bottom of that who I want the motion sending to. So obviously Steve was one, we could go through the FSA, we could send motions anywhere. But I felt that although Steve got them, they wasn't getting acted upon quickly. And motions I put through council was the TB. Obviously Labour want to try and reduce the TB culling zones, and me and Steve want to increase them where possible. Any TB cases that does sort of exaggerate, and then we increase them culling zones and take them out. So we're not just covering Fenland, we are covering the whole of England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales now. And a lot of that is through the thanks of social media and a lot of contacts I've got within the country. Last week I appointed 2 chairs in Wales, one covering north, one covering south. I've got 2 potential candidates for Scotland, and we've got a couple of lads that's interested in coming in on Ireland. So we are going to have a big group by the time as we're finished. The NFU have got some serious shots coming to them, and we all know what the NFU stand for. It's not the National Farmers Union. At the minute it means no free idiots, because at the minute they're genuinely not. So we really are pushing this countrywide. We're completely membership fee free. We're not charging membership to come in. The minute you involve money is when you've got problems involved. We want to be here as a group to fight for a group and fight for our industry. We don't need the likes of the WEF. We don't need the likes of the NFU sticking the nose in everywhere in things they know absolutely nothing about. So you guys have any problems? Obviously we've got the WhatsApp group. You know a lot of the big names that's on that, which is where a lot of our social media following is coming from. Now we're predicting that this live stream by tomorrow lunchtime is going to have a minimum of 4 million views. I don't care who it is, the NFU would never get 4 million people in London in 24 hours. That by tomorrow lunchtime, guarantee 4 million views. London in 24 hours. That by tomorrow lunchtime, guarantee 4 million views. So Wales have got big problems. As we know, they've got absolutely no TB control at all. The RSPCA have come out and said now that we're going to do more on spot inspections on farms. How can we allow a charity to get involved in farm life? They're only in it for the money. And if you look in the past of how many hunts they've tried to prosecute and failed, do you really want that sort of people on your farm telling you how to keep animals? I don't think so. It's completely wrong for me altogether. So, as a group, we want our industry back, we want our rural way of life back, and we want to take complete control of it. And this government, and even future governments, are going to learn that farmers are a force to be reckoned with. If we don't like it, it don't happen. DEFRA can like it, they can work with us, or they can work against us, but the farmers need now to stand shoulder to shoulder and go, not enough's enough, we're having no more, it's our way or the highway. And that is as simple as it's got to be. We can run the country, we can feed the country. Red Tractor's got to go. That's not worth anything, but we've got issues with Red Tractor, you know that. How can we have all the paperwork and that we've got to do, and all the stupid things on farm, to have products from another country possibly tipped on top of your heap, where you've had all the hassle and the other guys haven't? Rape is a prime example. We can't use neonics. Rape comes in from Russia, they're allowed to use neonics. But it all ends up on the same heap. So me and Steve have got an horrendous amount of work to do together. I'm hoping he's still going to be talking to me after tonight and going, what's he saying to me now? Let's keep rubbing shoulders and get the industry back to where it belongs. And that is us guys in charge of our rural way of life. So from me, we're going to take a live stream because we're going to video the tractors. This won't be the first demonstration. There's a lot going on next week, but I can't publicise that as yet. But keep watching that WhatsApp group. It will all be publicised by next Wednesday of what is going to be going on there. So, Steve, have you got a few words that you would like to say, which no doubt you will?
Sure,
Well,
obviously, here as a constituency MP, I think everyone's aware of the huge pressure the farming sector is under. We know that from the weather we've had, we know that from the cost of inputs going up, we know the other changes, some of the pressures from the supermarkets as well. As your constituency MP, the reason I'm here is to work with everyone within the farming sector to raise the issues, particularly the issues coming out of the budget. I was warning, as many of you know, locally last May around concerns with inheritance tax and the possible changes in agricultural property relief. We've seen those in the budget, and that's causing huge disquiet, but there were other changes in the budget as well, which are very damaging both to the farming community specifically, but also to those with family businesses and to the broader community as a whole. So I'm here, whether it's with you, Tim, whether it's with the NFU, whether it's with other groups, as a constituency MP, to say how can I work with you, how do I support you, and make sure we put maximum pressure on the government to hopefully think again about the changes in the budget, because they are causing huge distress. I think the numbers they've used are not reliable, and a number of people have been pointing that out. And the sooner we can see some change in that threshold, I think that will be hugely important in rural communities. So I'm here really to work with you, work with everyone in the constituency to make sure that the farming voice, which is so central to our economy in Fenland, because it's not just the jobs in farming directly, it's all the ancillary jobs as well, and it's people's legitimate desire to be able to pass that family business on to the next generation, and to do that in a way that's sustainable. So we'll be working together and ensuring, not just next week, but in the weeks ahead, that the farming voice is heard.
You know, a lot of people, especially the general public, and this is why, personally, I don't agree with blockades of London and things like that. We need to keep the public on side. We need that public support. But really, my opinion is the public don't actually realise what is involved within farming. The farmer actually is the middle of the cycle in food production. Fertiliser, that comes in ton bags. So you've got the fertiliser manufacturer, you've got the packaging manufacturer, you've got the transport people. A tractor, a farmer just doesn't buy a tractor. It's got to be designed, parts made for it, designed for it. Once wheat and things like that gets to the flour mills, it's not just ground into bread. You've got the seed cleaners, the dressers, the grinders, the people that design them, the people that manufacture them, the packing, everything else. The farmer is the middle of the line. Now, where Labour now are absolutely hammering the farmer, that's all of the businesses associated with farming that is going to get hammered with the volumes of people that's going to be within that industry. We've got to stand tall, we've got to educate the public, and we've got to keep that public on side. No public, no farmers. We've all got to work together. Farmers are custodians of the land. We deal with the environment, we deal with wildlife. We look after the farmland and the ditches to prevent the flooding. We store water on farmland. So we can't be having things like solar farms, overdevelopment. It just can't happen. Because if not, or if we carry on building the way we are and various stupid things going on, this country's going to be underwater within 10 years' time. The surface water's got nowhere to go. We're going to be completely flooded. So we are pure custodians of the land, and we achieve so much. And there again, the public need to see what actually a farmer does do, and it's not just sat on a tractor producing crops. So, any questions, guys?
What can we do?
We've chose to go this way by letting social media and the cameras do the work for us.
Yeah.
We'll know more tomorrow what the response is. I don't know, I'm guessing there's messages coming across on that screen at the minute, Tess, but obviously I can't comment on them, so I can't read them to say what they are. Tomorrow we will know a lot of what's response that is from the public and the viewers on social media. We know London's happening next week. by all means, let's keep an eye on that and see what happens there. But together we can grow it. I say, and once we've got the results from these tonight, we can expand more into what's going on next week. But for me at the moment, it's an early stage of education for the public to see where their food comes from, to see what's involved, and to see why we're really not happy. The inheritance tax was the final nail in the coffin of a string of issues regarding the industry and the rural way of life. And it's just got to stop, and it's got to stop now. Anybody else? You can switch it off then, Tess.
Yeah.